You were meant to be a helpmate. And for no reason you should ever become a harlot or you should ever become ratchet and start fighting people. Because a lot of women just go left. A lot of women just say, oh, because my husband doing it, I can do it too. You turn yourself into a harlot, sweetie. And a lot of women just go ratchet and try to fight the baby mama and the sweetheart. You're supposed to be a lady. You're supposed to be a helpmate. But let me talk to the men and then getting back to the women, because I ain't finished with the men yet. One more thing for the men. Man, this is what I want you to understand, because a lot of you all can say, you know what? Buddy, this woman ain't helping me. If anything, she's a hindrance. But I can say this to the man, I only can say this once. And I give you an example too. I have a good example. I just thought of it. A woman can only become a hindrance if you allow her to be a hindrance. Because God made her. Her DNA is for her to be a helpmate. So let me give you an example of a hindrance. This same summer, lo and behold, my wife comes to me and says, we gotta carry the children to Disney World. You gotta buy these tickets, you gotta buy these flights. We go to Disney World, Bahamas. I said, no. Bahamas, I just spent $1,100 on summer school, another $2,500 on school tuition, and then another $300-400 on books. That's $4,000 cash. I say no. Boy, my wife was mad. Because see, she was trying to be helpful. She thought she was being helpful because she planned this lovely vacation. And what really made her mad was when I told her no. That was a 2-minute conversation. See, Bahama, she wanted that to last for 2 weeks. She'd have felt good if he was angry and talking about it for 2 weeks about why the children ain't going to Disney World. She'd have been happy. Bahamas, that's a 2-minute conversation. I promise you. No. I just spent $4,000 on school fees. I spent another dime. That's it. I get things to do. Now, Bahamas, she would have been a hindrance if I'd allowed her to pressure me into that. She'd have been a hindrance. But she's a helpmate. So I say, what you could do is help me to book one trip to Atlantis. We go to Atlantis, we go to Comfort Suites. You know what I mean? You do the whole thing. A staycation. Cost me a few $100s and it cost me nothing really. I care less about that. But what I ain't doing is spending $4,000 in Orlando. There you have it. The only way a woman can become a hindrance to a man is if you allow it. So let's get that straight. And that's for the men. Because a lot of y'all can say, oh, the only reason I cheat on my wife is because she's a hindrance. Well, buddy, if she don't want to lay with you, then you need to step your romance game up. If she don't want to talk to you, then clearly you ain't making enough money. You need to go ahead and provide some more things. I'm sorry. But step your game up and then put your foot down. So a woman can never become a hindrance unless the man allows because you the head. So let's get that straight. Now just remember that. I don't want men to use it as an excuse. But now let me talk to the ladies before we end this one. Let's get back to mother. So this is the problem with mother. Mother only wanted to help. I mean, she mashed up the car, she fight the sweetheart. She only wanted to help. She only wanted to help her husband. She only wanted to help her marriage. But there's only one way mother could help. And this is why I talk about this today. We did all this to get right here. There's only one way she could help. Because there's a lot of women going through this right now. Let me tell you the only one way that you could help is to not attack the sweetheart, but to help the sweetheart. Let me explain what I mean. You see, a lot of women hot right now. They say, this big-head man come on this TV and tell me I should help my husband's sweetheart. That make any sense. His head ain't no good. It don't make no sense. But this is how you help the sweetheart. What you do is you pray for your enemies. Never forget that, ladies. So before you go there and you fight in the middle of the road and they put you on video, you pray for your enemies. You pray for the sweetheart. And once you do that, there's only two things that can happen. Either one, God can turn your husband hard and let him catch some sense and he can turn from his wicked ways. Or two, that man can leave you and you can thank God for it because he wasn't good for you anyway. He was a hindrance. But you gotta pray for your enemies. You gotta pray for the husband. You gotta pray for the sweetheart for one reason. Because your job is to help. The only way to attack the sweetheart is to attack the demon. If you attack her physically, then you're only making the demon happy. So that don't make no sense. That means you and the demon on sides. The same demon that take your husband, that same Jezebel spirit, is the same one who's trying to get you to fight the sweetheart. But the minute you stop and you say, you know what, let me pray for this woman. Let me forgive this woman. Let me go to God for this woman and pray for the best for her. Whatever she going through to make her feel like she got to sleep with a married man, let me leave it at the cross and let me pray some blessings over her life. If you could do that, that is how you attack the demon. That is how you help her, and that is how you remain and help me. Anything other than that, you're ratchet. I'm sorry, Bahamas. I tell you this one's going to be tough. So God, I appreciate you. Bless us, guys. Protect us. Help us to always pray for our enemies, the Heavenly Father, with the understanding that we can forgive others, the Heavenly Father, there's nothing you wouldn't do for us. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13, and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Welcome to the all-new CBS Pro Store. We'll be introducing various products such as plywood, sheetrock, metal stud, and a whole array of bulk construction products. So you can expect the same high level of service that you have been receiving at CBS Bahamas. We originally opened the store in 1980 as our retail location. Hearing from our customers that they wanted us to cater more to contractors, we decided to open the CBS Pro Store here at Robinson Road. So come by and visit us at CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road, where we can help you build beautiful.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the Progressive Liberal Party retooling for the work ahead, the Nassau Cruise Port expansion plans, excelling students recognized by the church, and in sports, jazz hits a grand slam. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. I'm Jimenita Swain. Thanks so much for joining us. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, Minister of Education Glenys Hanna-Martin, and Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Mario Bolig, among several government leaders joining the Prime Minister for a service of Thanksgiving earlier today. The service follows a celebratory event held at the party headquarters on Saturday. Anthony Smith reports.
For 2 years in a row, government leaders have paused and gathered here at Mount Tabor Church in celebration of their September 16th victory and ultimately 2 years in office.
It's only fitting, as our Secretary General pointed out, that we do come, worship and give thanks for what has happened to us.
Those the sentiments of a thankful Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, as he reflects on the year 2021. The country was in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Northern Islands recovering from Hurricane Dorian, and the growth the economy had previously seen had all but stopped.
Our first priority was to drive the recovery of the economy and job market, strengthen the healthcare system, and reopen schools. So many people were suffering financially, going hungry, and praying for better days. We moved immediately to expand support to those who needed it most.
Since then, the Davis-Cooper-led administration has made headway on a number of challenges and national issues. Accomplishments Progressive Liberal Party Secretary General Barbara Cartwright shared with parishioners of Mount Tabor Church.
Some of the government's successful accomplishments are reducing VAT, increase of the minimum wage, which impacted over 60,000 workers, record-breaking tourism arrivals by more than 30% of our previous records, building of affordable homes, completion of 22 union contracts.
Though officials admit there is still more work to be done.
When it comes to the development of our nation, we are not interested in excuses. We want to see more income equality, peaceful communities, food security, improved public health care, and more opportunities for Bahamians to own homes and successful businesses.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis ending his address with a promise to continue fighting for the Bahamian people. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith.
In other news, before being elected President of Botswana, Mogwitsi Masisi served as Minister of Education and Skills Development. 3 years later, then President Ian Khama appointed him Chancellor of the University of Botswana.
I believe very deeply that one of the fundamental responsibilities and attributes to display as a leader is your capacity to pass on the best you have. And that comes about from selflessness in sharing what you know are able to do. That's one important attribute. Another important attribute that I demand of my leadership is for them to be open-minded and learning. Admit, accept you do not know many things as I do not know. And so I look to keep talent on tap always. And their job is to keep talent on tap. And if you can cultivate talent.
Since opening earlier this year, the Nassau Cruise Port has been seeing record business, and to keep up with high visitor demand, the facility is undergoing infrastructural upgrades. The port is on tap to welcome more than 4 million visitors to the Bahamas through its facility by the end of the year. More arrivals are happening, Cruise Port CEO Mike Morris says, because the port is fully equipped to berth larger ships.
Notwithstanding the fact that we will handle more ships than we did in 2019, but we're handling more larger ships. And that's where you're getting the larger percentage increase in passengers. It's not that, you know, if 3.85 million compared to 4.3, you know, is call it, you know, it's 450,000 or 500,000, call it 500,000 for easy numbers. You know, from a percentage perspective, that's the biggest jump right there. But in terms of ships, it may be, you know, that we're only handling 20 more ships.
The port is expected to sail along its current trajectory, barring any unforeseen incidents like a catastrophic hurricane. Morris shared the port's plans in that instance.
Often it was the water that moved through that created a lot of the problem. Fortunately, I think that what would happen is if we did have a surge here, the fact is water may enter, but then water is going to, you know, we're so close to the ocean that it's not going to get trapped within the cruise port, which is obviously a good thing.
Now to news from police. A tussle ends with a man in Grand Bahama handing over 12 live rounds of ammunition to police. What we can tell you is that the 38-year-old resident of Hannah Hill, 8 Mile Rock, reported to police that he recovered the ammunition after being involved in a verbal altercation with another man known to him around 2:30 Saturday afternoon. The man who left and later returned with a firearm and attempted to shoot the victim, but the firearm malfunctioned. The victim told police a struggle ensued between them and he was able to separate the magazine from the weapon. The assailant retrieved the weapon and fled the scene. Investigations continue. Well, back here in the capital, drugs with an estimated street value of just under $10,000 recovered by police as Operation Secure City continues. On Saturday, officers, including those from the K9 unit acting on a tip, went to Domingo Heights around 2 p.m. where a 29-year-old man was arrested after he was found in possession of 9.7 pounds of suspected marijuana with an estimated street value of $9,700. Also during that operation, police conducted 159 name checks, 46 plate checks, and 8 persons were arrested for various criminal offenses, while 47 traffic citations were issued for infractions. Also to come in the weekend edition, symptoms of the dreaded ADHD disorder. Details of that and more after the break.
working season. We got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Thanks for staying with us. September is also the month to raise awareness on the Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, a mental medical condition that impacts the brain development of children, causing them to experience difficulties concentrating at home, school, or interacting with their friends. Physician at Emmanuel Medical Center, Dr. Sean Knoll, says adults too are being diagnosed with the disease.
We have adults who are struggling with that, who would have been missed perhaps in their childhood. And so they're recognizing, why can't I seem to get organized? Why can't I get to where I need to be on time? Why can't my mind allow me to focus? Very, very debilitating. Even worse when people are hammering down on you, to do better or to do this or do that when they don't really have an understanding of what that person is dealing with. And so with the ADHD, it's important to recognize it as early as possible. And that's why I depend on teachers especially, because they will be able to pick up why little Johnny, everybody else is focusing on doing the math problem, but Johnny's looking out the window or doodling. It could be that he is dealing with that.
It's always welcome news when high achievers do well on their national examinations, and this past week, one church stepped up to the plate in letting a group of exceptional young people know that their community remains supportive of their efforts. Lloyd Allen has more.
For the past 24 years, New Dimension Ministries has been recognizing young people throughout their churches performing well academically. And this year is no different, as Senior Pastor Bishop Victor Johnson has recognized a number of young people who perform exceptionally well on their national examinations.
When this church itself started 24 years ago, we partnered with Doris Johnson. And when they had boys that were a little unruly and all that sort of thing, I would let them bring 4 or 5 of them here to me, and I would work with them with their mathematics and also on their discipline.
Johnson says he was especially thrilled to celebrate a number of young women and men throughout the 14 churches in his district.
When I looked at the BJC and the BGCSE results, I was really startled when I saw so many young men doing so well. So they're not all headed to prison, and they're our boys. And we must take a special role after 50 years of independence. Our special job is to ensure not that we just have good-looking churches, not that we just have people dressed up every Sunday morning, but that we try to dress up the lives and the future of our young men.
2 of those exceptional scholars, 14-year-old Andre and Andrew Johnson, who were both twins, achieved more than 8 A's on their BJCs last year, and add that having a twin in the same grade has made a huge difference.
It definitely makes a difference because you have the person who's going through the same issues as you have, or a person who may have a better teacher, and you can bounce questions off, study with him. Same goes for him as well.
College freshman Corinne Simeon says the success in getting all A's has truly proven that achieving anything begins with the right mindset.
You don't have to stay where you don't feel comfortable. If you feel as though this is not your passion, go out and do what you need to achieve it.
As a number of church members, family, and friends came to celebrate the group, Johnson says the church intends to offer a little something extra to encourage the youngsters to continue to excel. The church is hoping to encourage other civic and religious groups to do the same in supporting young persons focused on academic distinction. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Yesterday, we shared with you about a cleanup effort taking place in the Angliston community. It was one that not only saw residents come together to assist, but other community leaders joining in as well. Take a look. Keeping their community clean, the aim of these volunteers who took time out Saturday morning to do just that. Mounds of garbage were cleared away and overgrown brush trimmed down. For Concolaire Concolaire, who's been doing the work for some time, he recognized those who have assisted along the way.
Angliston is a very small netted community, and you have persons who have pride in this particular community. They take it upon themselves to clean up in the front of their yard, and they actually contribute towards the cleanliness of Angliston.
And, true to form, a number of the event's honorees were out and about cleaning the wider community, like Diana Monroe, who has been doing so for 3 decades.
I look around and I see it in a certain way. I say, if everybody else out there could have it out in the east and the west, I say, I need to do this. I get up 5 o'clock, and I do this. Every morning.
I just love to do it. Clean and pristine. I brought them to go up once in Salvador Island, and they just like to see things look clean and good.
So I get up in the morning like Miss Eleanor. I saw one morning, and she was just cleaning, so I helped her. And I told her that I like to clean.
There were others like Tennille Burrows and entertainer Judah the Lion, who also felt the need to get involved.
This is our 2nd year working with Concolaire and Lenroy for World Cleanup Day. So this one was even bigger and better, and we anticipate that future years the whole country will be on board with World Cleanup Day.
He invited me out just to not just only assist in the cleanup, but to show, put a face to an important cause. Everybody every day has some sort of cleaning up to do.
If you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Are you a Bahamian artist? Do you love your Bahamian culture? Are you ready for an opportunity of a lifetime? Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group cordially invites you to submit your unreleased Rake and Scrape single now and join the League of Extraordinary Musical Talents. We're seeking authenticity, innovation, and the quintessential Bahamian flair that sets your music apart. To showcase your talent on Island Jams Volume 3. So, simply share your private YouTube, SoundCloud links, or MP3 with us via email at keepthevibelive242@gmail.com. Our ears are tuned to greatness, and we can't wait to discover the next star to grace our Island Jams album series. Join hands with the best of the best as we craft a musical journey that echoes through time. Don't miss your chance to shine among the brightest musical talents. Songwriters, producers, artists, and become a part of Island Jams Volume 3.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Bahamian center fielder Jazz Chisholm Jr. becoming the second player since 1900 to both hit a grand slam and steal 3 bases. Jazz doing this yesterday, a part of the Marlins' 11-5 win over the Atlanta Braves, according to ESPN Stats and Info. Chisholm waited until the second half of this contest to get busy. He stole his first base during the bottom of the 5th inning against the Braves reliever before hitting the big grand salami. Chisholm, who entered Saturday hitting .251 with 16 home runs, 40 RBIs, and 19 stolen bases. His contributions have been worth an estimated 1.2 wins above replacement, according to advanced statistics. The Marlins' victory keeps them in the thick of the National League wildcard race as Miami entered Saturday a half game back of the Arizona Diamondbacks for the final wildcard spot. Bahamas Olympic Committee holding their election of officers overnight at the police headquarters, returning as president of the BOC. Running unopposed would be Ramel Knowles. Also running unopposed and returning as Secretary General would be Deron Donaldson. Filling the Assistant Secretary General role would be Oria Woods Knowles. Treasurer Dorian Roach. Assistant Treasurer Adam Waterhouse. As for the VPs, look at the Vice Presidents. We have Joseph Smith, Roy Colbrook, Cor Hepburn, Clarence Roll, Darcy Ramming Sr., and Robert Butler. And in track news, hurdler Devynne Charlton speaking to Zenith Toll sports team, indicating that next year's Olympics may be her final one. She prepares to wrap up her stellar professional career by 2025.
It's a personal thing. Like, I've been doing track since I was 7 years old, so like 20 years now, and that's always been the thing every summer. And so I just can't see myself going 4 more years. Just want to take some time and like experience life separate from track, separate from being an athlete. I mean, that's just my mindset right now. I could wake up tomorrow and feel completely different, but right now, I think in like 2025, 2026 to be my last year as a professional athlete.
And that's when we look at your sports on this Sunday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
We are New Life Natural Company Limited, and we have actually been in the community for now 13 years, serving in the health field. Our diets is probably one of the most poorest diets actually in the Caribbean, and we are really low in the world. As a result of our diet, we are actually inheriting all of these different diseases. So we need to kind of like shift the way how we eat and shift it to eating more healthier food. So we at New Life here, we are trying to change the paradigms. We are actually introducing tasty, healthy options. And so hopefully this SPDC initiative will actually create the awareness, help us to have an understanding of what we are doing, why we are doing it, and help us to begin to shift this paradigm of proper eating, proper dieting, and proper fitness. So our motto is eat well, be well, and let your food be your medicine.
For more information about the Fitness and Wellness Initiative, contact the SPDC at 461-7232.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources' long-awaited Agrarian Awards is just a few days away. September 16th at 7 p.m. at Margaritaville, farmers will walk away with top prizes. Finalists for Female Farmer of the Year are Shavara Roker-Enyas of Chickcharney Farms, Whitlin Miller of Sunset Organic Farms, Norma Roberts of Mama Bling Farms in Grand Bahama, and Kevita Green of Duncan Coppice in South Andros. For Male Farmer of the Year, the finalists are Terrence Roberts III of Berkshire Farms in Grand Bahama, Sidney Sinclair of Down to Earth Adventure Farms in New Providence, Ty Gideon of Gideon Farms in Abaco, and Christopher Higgs of Higgs Organic Farm Products here in New Providence. For Governor General Community Farm of the Year, Treasure Key Community Aquaponics Farm in Abaco, Eat and Teach Clinic Farms in New Providence, and Seasonal Sunshine Bahamas in New Providence will contend for that prize. Youth Female Farmer of the Year finalists include Frederica Dames of Deluxe Farm Company in South Andros, Tiore Scott of Grammy Jude's Organic Poultry Eggs in New Providence, Takai Bain, and Kiara McKenzie will all contend for that prize. For the Prime Minister's Youth Male Farmer of the Year, those finalists include Kobe Forbes of New Century Farming in Long Island, Devontae Roll in Exuma, Fintai Bethine of Vacations in Paradise Farms in New Providence, and Tyreek Fowler. Now it's up to the Blue Ribbon panel to decide who will walk away as the winners. That's September 16th at 7 p.m. at Margaritaville. Tune in to the ministry's Facebook page where you can watch the live streaming of that event. For Good to Grow, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. Partly cloudy skies outside of our studios. Temperature a warm 90 degrees. The relative humidity at 59%. We have southeast winds at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,013.3 millibars. That's 29.92 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Violence this evening. 81 degrees in Marshall, Babico, Green Tool Key at 86. 86 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands at 86 degrees. Allenstown, Bimini, 85. 86 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 90 degrees. 90 in Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp's Base on Andros. Fresh Creek and Central Andros at 89 degrees. Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, all at 89 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 90 degrees. 89 in Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Machitanagua at 88 in the Turks and Caicos Island, also at 88 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight through Monday for all areas, light and variable winds, those wave heights 1 to 3 feet, but no more easterly islands, that is the Abacos, the Eleuthera, Cat Islands, and Salvador, all the way down to Crooked Island. They will continue to experience some moderate swells as a result of Lee, which is now a post-tropical cyclone. High tide will occur at 10:07 tonight, another high tide at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And now back to the tropics. As we told you already, Lee is now a post-tropical cyclone. There'll be no further announcement on that system. Also, Margot now a post-tropical system. So the only lone system we have out there now is Nigel, which recently formed. It's now a tropical storm, packing winds of some 60 miles per hour, moving towards the northwest at about 13 miles per hour. And we anticipate that this system could become a hurricane later tonight or by early tomorrow morning. And further intensification is likely as it continues on that northwest track. And our satellite picture close to home still have that weakness across the northwest Bahamas, firing up showers and thunderstorms around the Grand Bahama and Abaco area. Elsewhere, high pressure is in control of our weather. And as you can see out there, that is Nigel out there on our satellite picture, which is gaining some intensity. Look like it wants to form a little eye there. And if that is taking place, it means that we are very close to hurricane intensity. Forecast for tonight, warm with patchy clouds, low temperature around 81 degrees, and tomorrow partly sunny, 89 degrees for your high temperature. And extended weather forecast pretty nice tomorrow, but come Tuesday, we'll have some of those little pop-up showers back in our forecast. Wednesday a lot better. On Thursday, a little bit of cloud in the forecast, 1 or 2 stray showers possible, and then things start to clear up as we head into the weekend. Jimenita.
Thanks, Basil, and that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.